Somewhere in the middle of 2008, I found myself riding my brand new motorbike around the cane farms of far north Queensland. It was one of those perfect weekdays where the sun was shining, the air was cool, and in every direction you turned, it looked like something out of a postcard. I still remember the moment so well, as I was feeling completely free, without a care in the world, and every reason to be alive. I had no idea that in just a few hours from now, I'd be riding home feeling the exact opposite. Sad, depressed, and so completely consumed with the dreaded sense of helplessness. Hello, I'm George, and you're listening to another story here on the Northern Services Courier. I remember taking the day off work because I was quote unquote sick and needed time to get better. So I found myself somewhere deep in the farmlands behind Ingham. As I rode my bike down a little country road, I saw a tractor ploughing the ground as it drove my direction. Sitting on the tractor was a man in his 40s. He looked bored and uninterested as he worked the land below him. Not 500 metres further down the road, I saw a hand-painted sign that simply read, "Coffee and cakes, drop in." So I did. I turned my bike into the driveway and I parked at the bottom of an old Queenslander, the iconic cane farmer's home, complete with the wraparound veranda. A woman in her 60s, perhaps even 70s, stepped out of the kitchen wearing an apron and holding a mixing bowl. She waved and motioned for me to come in and take a seat at one of the two little tables out the front. Now enjoying a cup of coffee and some Italian-style homemade cake, the woman and I got talking. "Is that your son?" I asked, pointing towards the tractor that was driving up and down the side of the farm. "Yes, that's my Anthony. He's preparing the ground for cane. Do you eat sugar?" "Because it's in everything, and this whole area produces most of the sugar in Australia," she replied. She went on to tell me that he lives here at home and works the land now that her and her husband are too old to work the cane farm. "So, is he married?" I asked. "Well, yes, but no longer. He married a girl who decided she wanted a career instead of marriage. What on earth would she need that for? A farmer's wife has enough work looking after the home, the kids, and the endless chores. No, our Anthony is happier now. He's here with us where he belongs." At this point, I asked her if he will ever marry again, and she said no, then stared into the horizon. Again and again, Anthony would drive towards us and then turn down to the next headland to continue ploughing. When he was 19, the mother suddenly said, he met a girl who was here studying to be a nurse. She was from Ireland and the same age as Anthony. Well, the two of them met at a dance, and that was it. They were inseparable. "Is that the woman that he'd go on to marry?" I asked, as I sipped my coffee and took another cake off the plate. "Oh, no, that was a local girl from just up the road. No, this one was only here for a few months, and it was clear that things wouldn't work out between them. I mean, she's a foreigner. She could have been anyone, and I'm not going to let my son get involved with just anyone." "So what happened?" I asked. "Well, her time was up and she had to go home. So the two promised to write to each other every day until they were together again and all that nonsense," she said as she laughed while brushing cookie crumbs off her apron. "Anthony was devastated," she said. "He wanted to follow her, but we wouldn't entertain such silliness. I mean, it wasn't love." "So she left?" I asked. "Yes, thank goodness, she left. But I have to admit, I was surprised. She did write to him all the time, and for a very long time." "Well, that's great, isn't it? I mean, what were Anthony's thoughts?" I asked. "Anthony? Anthony, she replied. Oh, I never showed him the letters. He'd have dropped everything and chased her. We have a farm to run. He's got responsibilities. No, I never showed him the letters. He wrote to her several times, and we made sure those letters never left the farm. As far as our Anthony's concerned, she was a no one from nowhere. We're just glad she went back. With a smile on my face that took some effort to muster up, I thanked the woman, I paid for my coffee and cake and jumped on my bike. As I started the engine and turned to the driveway to leave the farm, I thought I saw Anthony momentarily make eye contact with me, but it was as if he looked straight through me like I wasn't even there. My ride home was well over an hour, giving me so much time to think, perhaps even too much time to think. And farm after farm rolled by, with cane growing as far as the eye could see. Sugar. Queensland sugar, I thought. I never knew it could taste so sweet, yet so bitter. Thank you for listening to another story on our online edition of the Northern Services Courier. Today's story was written by me, music by my talented son Michael, and edited by Ted Bragg. In our next edition, I'll bring you a beautiful but sad story about a woman who's been trapped in her broken body for 21 years following a terrible accident. And although she's in a coma, she can hear and feel. But that is another story. I'll see you next time.